You know, I said have a I have my first match this year now. Usually around this time, I'm usually gearing up for Germany. Things are gonna be a little bit different. You know, I I'm actually going up to Tamaqua for my first match this year. And don't get me wrong, I've been training. I've been training. This is the time where everybody's about to get off their resolution about I'm trying to lose weight and all that. See, here's the thing. I didn't make a resolution. I just turned around and said, look, by the end of the year, as in the end of 2011, I'm gonna try to get under 200 pounds. I did it narrowly. Wasn't a resolution. So now what am I trying to do? Trying to stay under 200 pounds. What did I do? I ranged between 203 and 197. I changed everything about my diet. Okay. I mean, like, granted, I just knocked off a cheesesteak from Jim's not too long ago. The only problem with that was the bread. Well, thankfully, it's Amoroso's. If anybody knows about cheesesteaks here in Philadelphia, it's not a cheesesteak unless you got the Italian roll. Amoroso's, bring them in fresh daily. Otherwise, it's just something else. It's not a cheesesteak. We don't call them Philly steaks. We don't call them Philly cheesesteaks. We just call them cheesesteaks. If it's Philly, it ain't got the Italian roll. Sorry. That's about the worst thing of that whole thing I'll eat. So that in that particular case, it's the cleanest and cheap foods I can think of. Because it's not cheating. The only cheat there is the bread. There's no processed cheese. But then again, I have to cut out dairy. So yeah, I still eat clean. I burn it off. And then on top of that, yeah, I'll wash it down with a Heineken. And you know what? This is like drinking for me. For those of you who don't realize, beer is a natural diuretic, just like tea and coffee, and I drink abundant amounts of both of those too, which means my kidneys stay nice and flushed. So, you ain't got to worry about me getting drunk. And plus, I drink stronger than this during the week. Anyway, yeah, I still train. Yes, I do. It might be the reason why it may be harder for me to go down to 195 a little faster, but that's okay. The conditioning stays sound, and it's a solid weight, no problem. Now, Tamaqua. Now, I've said it before. I'll say it again. So I'm not really so much concerned about who they throw in the ring with me. I never am, anyhow. Okay? To me, trying to have a rivalry of a feud, I've been down that road. And you know what? I remember the first quarter of my career, first 4 years of my career. Back when I was about 165 pounds, soaking wet with a brick in my pocket. You know, and I repeatedly got my ass handed to me. That's no secret. I've made no mystery about that. Okay, I've had my ass handed to me on many a night. Okay, here in Philly and in front of a South Philly crowd or a Philly crowd. And anybody knows, even back then, you talking about a crowd that's notorious for booing Santa Claus and throwing batteries at Michael Jackson. Never mind a beating I got. If you can survive that crowd, you can survive anything. Alright? Now, they used to throw me in a ring with cats anywhere from 50 to 90 pounds heavier than me. Now, that's the test. If you can turn around and roll with cats that big and live to talk about it, and eventually learn how to swell your chest up and roar along with them, fine, they did their job. Otherwise, you're not cut out for it, and you get weeded out and you go. And I've seen a few of those too. That was the first 4 years of my wrestling career. That's before I started venturing out more. Now, you go out there and go start hitting other states. DC, Virginia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, whatever. And I'm even talking about before I hit overseas. This is seasoning. Okay? Now, Tamaqua. You got older guys, been there about as long, if not a little bit longer than me. You got guys who've been in shorter than I have. Some of them, because of my demeanor, they think that I'm new. Or they just don't believe me, or they just don't care. I'm sorry, that's a big mistake. I know about making a few mistakes, especially even in the locker room. I still remember the mistake that was made when that one fight I had in the cage in South Philly 2 years ago. Not what happened in the cage itself, what led to it. 2 weeks prior. I won't forget that. Guy trained me, or call himself training me. See, his thing wasn't trying to get me ready for a fight. His thing was, how much can he try and kill me up until the day of the fight and still have me able to do so? Bad idea. That's not what you train for. What he did was set me up for failure by making me walk in wounded. Here's the thing. I already had my conditioning set. Alright? Before he came along, my setup was this. I fought in rounds. Not traditional 2-minute rounds or three 2-minute rounds like they do in Amis. No. I was doing it like pride rounds. If anybody knows pride, here's the thing. You only got 2 rounds in a pride fight. The first round is 9 minutes long. The second round is 7 minutes long. No breaks. That was my conditioning. Only thing he had to worry about, and he actually did right, was he made sure I made weight. In between that, tried to kill me. Very ridiculous. And his biggest mistake came 2 nights before the fight because he told me he wanted me to spar. That's how I really became walking wounded, because I didn't know I went in there with a cracked orbital rim. Yeah. See, so that's what happens when you get people who get overzealous, don't really know what they're doing, and they get involved in something that people take seriously, and they screw it up, and then after it's all said and done, the damage has been done, and they go off away in a little hole somewhere where they came from. You don't see them again. Kind of like wrestling, the way it is now. You have a whole mass of people that kind of got drawn into breaking in and infiltrating the ranks of the fraternity. They get in the ring. You get these guys, they learn the scantest, the most scant of the basics. And all of a sudden they're authorities. Boys, I got news for you. You're not authorities. You just learned a little bit. You haven't really gone that far with it. Your mistake is if you try that mess with a guy like me. Now, I had to deal with the fact that there's a bit of prejudice in MMA. I turned around and told him I used my ring name. I told him I was a professional wrestler. And first thing the ring announcer said was, should we expect to see a pile driver? I kid you not. Now, that gives you an idea. They didn't take that seriously. And to be honest, had my head been right, I know if the dog ain't stopped, the crab he would have caught the rabbit. I know this. But had my head been right, if I'd been in the right frame of mind where I wanted to be, where I need to be, physically and mentally, for that fight, it would have shut him up. So pile driver, no. Might see one wicked takedown or two, a couple of good submissions. They did see that. They even saw a scrap towards the end. Wrestling, same thing here. You got these guys who think, oh, it's entertainment. Gentlemen, you don't know the half of it. And see, it's a different year. So I try and throw in a few more bits and pieces. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, here's the thing, guys. Just because I'm 40 doesn't mean I'm old. Maybe for this business, I'm experienced. And you know what? The thing that makes me different from everybody else is I never stop learning to learn, even now. That's what makes me a little bit more sharper. I don't go in the gym and train like a bodybuilder. Why? I'm not going out there to stand in front of a podium for 5 minutes and flex, oiled up. That's not my thing. I don't need to be juiced up for that. What you see with me is what you get. I don't train for show. I train to go. I train for gas in the tank. I'm in there in the mats, even I don't care which gym I go to. I got 2 memberships. I'm in there. I'm in one if I'm not playing with my mace in my clubs. Ballpoint and Little Bam Bam Jr. That's a 10-pound club. Looks like a bat. How many bats you know weigh 10 pounds? It's the most awkward 20 and 10 pounds you'll ever play with, and it'll kick your ass inside of a minute. Try me. If I'm not at one gym playing with those two, I'm back at the other gym. I'm on the stretching mats. I'm doing stuff anything but stretching. I'm doing Granby rolls. I'm turning around. I'm doing sit-throughs. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm doing UPA drills. I'm doing shrimp drills, reverse and forward. Stuff that I would do in the ring. That's when I'm training by myself. People don't think you can do that. Yeah, there's this first. It's just like you have shadow boxing. You got shadow grappling. That's what I do. People don't think it's possible. Some people say you seen some of my training footage. Try me. You want to work out with me? Come on. I ain't hard to find. Just work out with me. Even if I come up in a ring and train with you, come on, try me. Even before a show, try me. Y'all don't know about getting stretched. I can be nice about it. I'll make it quick. I'll make it painless. Y'all don't know about takedowns. I'll throw that in there too. Go for it. I could be entertaining, but I never came into this to be an entertainer. I just happen to make entertaining matches. See, that's the difference between me and most other people. Now, here right now, I'm relaxing. Because, see, after I'm done with this, I'm going to go back and watch one of the most vicious SOBs I've seen in a long time in the name of Buakal. That's probably the most dangerous thing walking as 140 plus pounds I've seen so far. And I'm watching him just go to town from one of his older fights. So this is what's got me going. I'm seeing this, and then I'm seeing highlight films of my boys in the Holland, Sumerian Death Squad. I swear to God, watching dudes like that get down makes me want to go outside and kick some damn fool in the face. And you know what? It might even happen this weekend coming up in Tamaqua. I'm getting ready for it. I know I'm stoked. I know I'm amped. I know I'm hyped. Are you? Whoever's in the ring with me, be ready. And I hope you got a good insurance plan. Just in case. I don't plan on killing you, but I don't know if you're accident prone or not. It's a weird business, man. So you got to be prepared for some very weird circumstances. Just a penny for your thoughts.